know why I feel this way. Every day I wanna run away. I think I'll go back to that place I stay. Play on the server the TimeShot way.
Hello people, it's Poet, and we're back on TimeShot. Now, when we left off, we had the tour videos of both CAF and audio, so welcome them to the server. Kind of a more or less a surprise that they're members, I guess, to most people watching. But I'll kind of maybe talk about that a little bit. But before we get to that, I have a donation to do. So I will make up a sign right now. I should really have signs down here. I don't know why I don't. I got sticks, though. And that can make a sign. These, because I need the dark oak. Can't use it up to just make signs. I wonder if they're ever going to have like dark oak signs and stuff like that. I wonder. Let's see, where am I? That's the Amazon room. Nothing there, nothing there. This room right here. Okay. So that whole wall's done. This wall is next. So, bam! And this one is from, who is it? Zephos Jr. Yogscast! Maybe. And who is $1. Thank you very much. It came with a message, which I was told not to read on camera, but I will read it on camera anyway, because I am like that. And it says, Poet! I finally got a Visa card. That's maybe TMI. So I thought I could donate to you. Wait, it says, I thought I would donate to you. Use it wisely. Could you fill Fabe's base with anything pink and write a sign that says, I thought your base needed some pink. Hope you like it. Love, Zep2. From Twitch, apparently. And then he said, don't say that when you're recording. But I did. Because I'll probably not do that to Fabe right now anyway. I'm just looking around here. I want to start grabbing some of this stuff and kind of moving it out. I feel like I don't need anything down here anymore. What's in here? Just seeds, huh? But I will maybe take the fence, because you never know when you might need fence. I can tell you right now that I know a time when I'm going to need fence, and that's soon, so might as well repurpose it, right? Okay, so CAF and Audio, they are new members of the server, so that's kind of cool. I didn't really announce it beforehand for a couple reasons, one being just simple privacy reasons. You know, if people need to leave a certain server, I'm not going to start blabbing all over the place, you know, welcome to our server, even though, you know, they might not have officially left the other place yet. They might want to kind of do that privately and take their time with that. So obviously I don't go out of my way to announce a new member has joined. And for the same reason, I don't really announce that new members or old members have left until they're ready to say, you know, on their channel, oh, by the way, I've left, kind of thing. This sugarcane, I'm almost feeling like I should leave it. But you know what? I think what I'll do, I'll grab, oh, it's only paper in there. I'll grab this paper. I love everything in my inventory. I guess maybe the creeper dust. Okay. Bring it all upstairs. And I'll make a new sugarcane farm. But anyway, getting back to it, yeah, we have new members. And I just wanted to briefly touch upon the fact that, you know, every time we get new members, we get an influx of people saying, hey, I see you're taking applications. Can I join? And as much as we appreciate them, I do read every single message that I get. As much as we appreciate them, we're really not. You see, our policy hasn't ever changed for donations. See, I still have that donation on my mind. For applications, the policy has never really changed. We've always said, if you're ready to join TimeShot, you shouldn't need to ask. So if you haven't talked to us in the past and you're applying, there's like almost a over 100% chance that you're not gonna be getting onto the server. What's going on here? Why am I lagging on top of this thing? Huh? What the? Weird. Okay. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to discourage people from, you know, trying to follow their dreams. And I have had messages from people saying like, you know, I know that I won't get on, but I just want to try because, you know, if I don't try, then I'd regret not trying. And I understand that. I get that. I understand that perfectly. You know, you got to follow your dreams. You got to attempt to do what you think is the right thing to do. But with that said, you know, I'm just trying to let people down easily and say, you know, there's such a small chance you get on that, you know, it's almost, you shouldn't even try. Unless we really knew you. Because I can say for a fact, everybody who's gotten onto the server, we've either known, and if we haven't really known them beforehand, it's because they have absolutely stellar content and stellar followings and interactions with people and things like that. Like, it just has to be a perfect scenario if we don't know you, and, you know, rare sometimes, I guess. Just want to kind of plant these around here for now. Just kind of lazily. I'll improve upon this, but just so that these things don't stop growing, so that I don't have to go back down into that other place. Kind of like that, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of just what I wanted to remind you guys, for those watching, is that, what? Hey! Got cows and sheep escaping now? All over the place? Get back in there. Get back in there. I don't have a lead on me, so these guys are just kind of all over the place. Oh, they both follow wheat, don't they? I know that you can breed sheep with wheat. Yes, they follow it. Okay. Yeah, hi, little guys. No, sheep! No, cow! They fell into the wrong spots. Come back here. Gotcha. Okay. That is not what I want. So, everything seems to still be escaping. That's very bad. Very bad. Yeah, hi, I got wheat for you. You're gonna eat it and love it. This guy is constantly stuck in the corner, so I push him out. Okay. Actually, I can get to the cows from in here. I forgot. There we go. There we go. I gotta, like, jump-proof this place, unfortunately, with, like, this. But what I've found is that even though I put a barrier around them, it seems like they still jump it. I don't quite understand how or why, but they seem to. So I'm kind of upset about it, but not much I can do. So I'm just going to go like this around and kind of continue talking about what I was talking about. So applications are, they've always been closed, with that exception that, you know, if you're friends with us, then yeah, we might take a look at your channel, but even then, we've had very close friends apply and not get on. We have a very, very rigorous application process. It's by no means easy to get onto the server. So, even then, craziness happening with applications. There, just like that. And I'll have to go around the sheep side too. Yep. Okay, so today, with that kind of out of the way, you know, my discouragement of all YouTubers out of the way, I wanted to kind of address a little bit of something that I found interesting today. Is I was reading an article about something that was called JessiCam. And to give you kind of a background on what that was, it started apparently in 1996 and was really the very first person, this girl named Jennifer, the very first person to ever kind of go out of her way to be on camera. Let's see, sticks I think I need, and these. I don't remember how to make fences, so I'm kind of just like, yeah, okay. I do remember how to make fences. What are you talking about? Just like that. 6 fence. Is that enough? No. So, this JessiCam was basically the very first webcam person online. Now today, we've got YouTube, of course, so that kind of puts anything that was in the 90s to shame, technology-wise, and even kind of the interest factor involved. See, back in the 90s, I can tell you what the internet was kind of like in the 90s. Non-existent is a pretty good word. Like, even to find someone who had the internet was rare. I had the internet. It was extraordinarily slow. You couldn't really load very many websites, things like that. What? Oh, this is spruce? Oh, well, I'm going to have a different colored fence post there for a while. GG. But anyway, the internet was not where it is today by any means. I hear people complain about their slow internet all the time, myself included. My internet right now, right this second, is acting very slow as far as like uploading and stuff like that goes. I'm having a hard time today. But it kind of gives me a little bit of solace when I remember back to the days when it would literally take minutes sometimes to load a single website that had like only a few images and mostly text. Like, that's the reality of the thing. So in 96, this girl actually went and made a webcam show, sort of like the OG vlogger, though it didn't have audio, and it was just a bunch of mostly still images where the webcam would refresh now and again, not all the time, but now and again, and it would update you with a new image. And it blew up. It was like one of the first viral experiences online where everybody tuned into it. I don't actually think I did. I don't remember ever doing it myself. I was pretty young when it was in the 90s, so it was probably well beyond my interest. But looking back on it now, hearing about it, reading about it, it's so interesting that this person, basically, what they did is they had a webcam on them all of the time. All of the time. And that to me was so interesting because they basically broadcast their life, got extremely popular because of it, and then had to deal with the popularity that resulted from it. The good press, the bad press, people who would stalk them, and then, you know, that kind of stuff. So I listened to an interview, which if I remember, I might not remember, but it's out there. It's an interview from a podcast that actually interviewed the original person who did it, who did this JessiCam, and kind of just talked to her about, you know, what it was like, what she went through, why she stopped. And I found that to be not only reflecting what we do on YouTube, even just us simple gamers, but what a lot of people do and kind of what we have to go through, what we have to experience. I found it very, very interesting. So she's on webcam all the time. All the time. She got a huge following. People wanting to see all kinds of things on camera. She never turned the camera off. So anything she did was basically broadcast, good or bad. Let me see here. I'm just kind of trying to figure out how I'm going to make this look. Bear with me for a second. Bear with me. I think I need some dark oak. So, good or bad, she's on this webcam. People are tuning in for just curiosity's sake, for maybe more perverse reasons, for just, you know, they want to be kind of aware that someone else was doing what they were doing. And that's kind of how I related to it. She actually said in the interview, you know, that one of her turning points was when someone sent her an email, and the email said, "Hey, it's Saturday night, and I see that you're doing laundry. I don't feel so bad about myself right now, because it's Saturday night, and I'm also doing laundry. You know, because you're doing it, I'm doing it. I don't feel so weird." And she said that that was a turning point to her, because she said, you know, it kind of, what she was doing actually made someone out there feel a little bit better about what they were doing in their lives, you know. Whereas, you know, Saturday night, usually people want to go out, have those who have lots of friends might hang out, party. Here she was, some 19-year-old girl, and she wasn't partying, she wasn't doing anything, she was doing laundry, just like the other person. You know, it made them feel a little bit more human, that someone else out there was doing what they did. And I liked that a lot. I liked hearing about that, because that's sometimes how I feel. You know, when I'm doing these kinds of videos, I like the idea that there are those out there who have sent me messages saying, you know, wow, I can really relate. You know, my Draw My Life thing that I've talked about in the past and stuff. A lot of people send me messages saying, wow, your life is exactly like mine. I can really relate to it. Or it means a lot to me to know more about the way that you grew up and what you went through, and it speaks a lot about your character and who you are. And, you know, those kinds of things really, they actually empower me quite a bit. I don't know if this looks good. I have no idea. I built this just completed this for the world download. I haven't actually filmed it yet, so this is the first filming of it. The roof is something of a love-hate relationship right now. I built it 3 times. I tore it down 3 times. Rebuilt it. This is kind of the design I came up with. I don't mind it. It makes it a fairly large space, and this is going to be my storage area, my chest room, my treasure cove of sorts. So it's not bad, I think, that it looks like such a big vaulted ceiling, especially if I'm going to have chests and stuff in here. But I don't know, at the same time, I feel like I could maybe do better. I don't know. Maybe I thought about like completely taking off an entire quarter of the roof at one point, making the entire building like an L-shaped build. And that would make the roof look so much different. I would actually take off probably this corner right here if I had a choice. And then I'd have a peaked roof here. That would be nothing. A peaked roof there. It would look kind of cool, actually. But then I thought, well, that leaves me no space to put, the storage. I want storage room, so it's really difficult to make a giant roof on a square house. It really is. When I want part of it to look still peaked, like just about every other building that I'm doing. So, yeah, it's really tough. I'm kind of just working on designs now. I, of course, did the same thing I did with the other roof, and I did those little pockmarks, louvers, if you will, inside of it. But I don't know if it looks really that nice right now. See, that roof was a lot taller than this one, so pretty well everyone's first impression when they come out of the portal and look at it is like, oh, why is it full of holes? Nobody says anything about that one. So I'm still not happy about this roof, but I'm working on the roof. I might end up just tearing the whole thing down and starting again. We shall see. But okay, back to the JessiCam thing. So to give you kind of the whole rundown story, I don't think I have yet. So she starts this webcam in '96 as kind of just a social experiment for her geek friends. Said she was a computer geek. The first thing she did was buy a webcam. She liked the idea of this webcam. Nobody really was using webcams at the time at all, but she bought one. She liked the idea of it. She went ahead and started broadcasting herself. She didn't really intend to become popular at all or famous at all. She did it for her friends. Mind you, when she did become popular, she did kind of enhance what she did. She improved upon it. She bought more technology, more equipment, and just kind of continued doing it. She didn't do it for money. She completely rejected a lot of propositions. Not from men or something like that, but propositions to broadcast or advertisements and banners and stuff on her site. She didn't want that. She just wanted to do it for fun as her experiment. And I don't know. It blew up. It became huge. And what eventually happened is that there were a lot of copycats, of course. Like, hey, I want to be the next JessiCam. Same as we have today. People who constantly go onto the internet saying, well, I really like what Sky Does Minecraft. I love him so much that I want to be the next Sky Does Minecraft. I want to go out there. I want to be the next PoetPlays. I want to be the next whatever. They inspire me to do what I do. I'm going to do it. So she also had these kinds of people and actually ended up interacting with a lot of them. Sort of the same as how the vloggers do it today on YouTube. They're in a pretty tight-knit circle sometimes. They all hang out together at VidCon and things like that. They all fairly know each other. They go to the YouTube studios and hang out. You know how it is. So she was into that kind of scene, and what ultimately happened is I guess how it all ended is what I'm getting to, is she moved in with a roommate apparently, or something to the effect of she ended up moving to California with the help of a person who had also started doing these webcam videos. And what happened next is something that, if you kind of knew her personality from, I guess, the very beginning, you'd know that she doesn't hide anything on camera. Whether it's her, having personal time or things like that. So what happened is the fiance of the girl that she was hanging out with, this other webcam person, they ended up having kind of an affair together, which is kind of a shocking thing for a lot of people. It was very troubling. Some very highly accredited news organizations even kind of tore her apart for being that kind of a woman and cast her in a kind of an unfair light. She says, you know, you got to realize that here I thought I was in love. You know, what's wrong with that? Everybody's saying that I'm a homewrecker, but I thought I was in love. You know, we had something going. It wasn't about people watching all of a sudden. It was about, you know, this is a guy that I really care about. And it just so happened that he was a part of this other webcam girl's life, and, you know, drama ensued. And I kind of found that funny in a way, not laugh out loud funny, but almost ironic in a way, because, you know, this is kind of the same thing that happens on YouTube, where you've got YouTubers who come under fire because of stuff that they do with other YouTubers, or as a result of being on YouTube in the public spotlight and stuff like that. And I guess everybody comes to this breaking point eventually, that suddenly they've gone too far. Suddenly things have just, you know, how dare she? The public, who was totally on their side in the past, starts tearing them apart or taking sides, and it's kind of, it almost takes away from it, you know? These are people who put themselves out there, and then when people don't agree with something that they see, they'll interpret it a certain way, and that's just going to be the way that it is. We hate you now. To the point where she was essentially driven off the internet. Let's see. Do I have another sapling? Because I can't find any spruce, so I might as well grow some spruce trees. Because I need lots of spruce right now. And just reading about all of this happening, it's almost as if, like, this is the person who, in her interview, she didn't seem to think that she was that important, or that she had that much of a profound effect on the way that people use the internet today. But, you know, this is someone who really defined what it was like to be online in the public spotlight, have people start accusing you of certain things and take it a little bit too far. Like, this was, it's so common today, but she was the first. You know, you just don't see that kind of stuff back in the 90s, but she was there. She was experiencing it before anyone else. There we go. So what happened in the end is that she was driven off the internet, like happens today on the YouTubes, is that people do something that the public doesn't quite agree with, or doesn't quite take to, or doesn't quite, or maybe it's just because it's getting out of hand, and the YouTuber will say, you know what, okay, I'm done, and walk away from it all. And why I really found this to be a point of interest is just kind of how she made a comment at one point, and the comment was she had to grow thick skin, right? Like we all do. Every YouTuber does. And that's kind of, you know, the one unspoken truth about YouTube. That, yes, it's great to do YouTube videos. We get lots of compliments all the time. We get awesome fans, awesome viewers, comments that are so amazing. But we also get the opposite too. We get the comments that aren't very nice, that aren't good. We get attacked just because we are who we are. You know, if someone is maybe a little bit jealous, or because they don't quite know all the details, whatever it might be, from time to time we will get attacked. You need a certain thick skin, but what she said was kind of, it really hit home. She said she had to grow a thick skin, but she started to grow almost too thick a skin. And that was kind of profound to me, like, because I've always said to people, you know, you gotta have a thick skin, you gotta grow a thick skin. But she was actually saying she grew almost too thick a skin. You know, even growing a thick skin was becoming too much. Because she said there were some people that she wanted to interact with. She wanted to be able to say things and get criticism and get positives and talk to people without always being judgmental or careful or feeling like she had to be on the defensive. You know, when is it a little bit too much? I mean, what she said really inspired me to think about what I do and think about how I take criticisms and things like that. Because I've always said I had a thick skin. I think that part of the way that I grew up gave me that thick skin, empowered me to be able to roll with the punches, as they say, and take criticisms for what they are, if they're actually decent criticism. And the people who just send hurtful and hateful things, I block them and I move on. So, you know, for her to say that it eventually reaches a point where you almost get too thick a skin, where the outside world seems to almost be distant because of how defensive you're being all the time, because of how defensive you have to be when even the little things start to affect you. That, to me, really, it said a lot. So I just found it interesting that here's this person who was doing essentially the public, was in the public eye back in the 90s. We're talking like 20 years before any of us are doing this. And she had it all figured out to the point where she actually stopped. She ended up not liking the online world because of her experience. I really hope it never gets to that point. I don't ever see it getting to that point. I really don't want it to get to that point. That said, here's the other contrast, is that, you know, when I was growing up, I always wanted to work in computers. I wanted to become a programmer. I went to school for programming, then I went to school for engineering. I went to school for networking. And I just wanted to be in computers. They were my passion, they were my hobby, they were like everything to me. And I got a job, I had several jobs in computing until I was finally, you know, IT manager. But it got to the point where the more I did, the more I hated it. To the point now where, you know, I often have said to people, even if I were to do anything else in life, say YouTube tanks tomorrow, and my videos aren't the quality to get on Vimeo or something like that. Suddenly, my revenue's gone, and I need to get a real job. Quote, real job. But I would not go back to what I was doing. Because the fact that I wasn't working for myself, the fact that I was doing it for so long, and I thought that it was what I wanted, and at one time it was. If you talked to me 2 years, like here I am, I'm about 3 years into doing YouTube. If you were to talk to me 3 years into doing computer science work, programming, engineering, things like that, I would tell you the same thing that I'm telling you right now, is that I love this. I don't ever plan on changing. Nothing, I have no bad feelings about it. I really enjoy doing what I'm doing. I really care about it. Go 15 years and you start feeling, okay, something's got to give. Something's got to change. I worked in computers for a very long time. My first job ever, a lot of people's first jobs ever are kind of like, you work at the car wash, you work pumping gas, or you get the job at the burger place, flipping burgers, being a waitress, you know, delivering pizzas, delivering newspapers, babysitting. You know, I can go through a huge list of like first-time jobs, typical first-time jobs. My first-time job was a web developer for the government of my province. It was a job that I actually had to compete to get into. And I worked there for 3 years. So I was 14 years old. And here I was already working during the summer. And it was a summer contract. They actually contracted me for 5 years. I only ended up working there for 3 years by my own choice. Because I ended up going to a different school. So it was all kind of crazy, but it, you know, I was working in that field since I was a kid. Like 14, you're a kid. I'm sorry, 14-year-olds out there who think that they're so much the world and that they'll never grow again and that every opinion they have now won't ever change. No, I was a kid then. But that point aside, I was working in computers since I was a kid. So go to 3 years ago, I'm 30 now. 3 years ago, I was working in computers for a very long time. And I ended up hating it. I hate it. If I have a family member even who calls me up and says, "Oh, hey, can you help me with this problem that I have with certain computer, blah, blah, blah," I almost hang up on them. It sounds very cruel because, you know, family's family. I love my family. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. It's almost sad in a way that it's got to that point. I really hope that YouTube doesn't take a turn for the worst and that I start to hate it. And even much more the case if it's because of something that happens personally in my professional career, because of how close we all are. Because that's the thing, is that, you know, TimeShot is a Minecraft server. It's also a group of people. It's also a group of friends. And with anybody, we're all human. Tensions can well, get tense. And I just hope that things go well. I mean, that's all that I can really do is hope. Have hope. Hope for the future of what we do. I can't ever imagine anything going wrong, but talk to me when I was a 14-year-old kid getting into computers. I didn't think anything would go wrong, and ultimately what happened is, you know, the work started to pile up in a place where I just didn't care for it anymore. So, thinking about the person who was so into it, like the first person to ever do webcam videos, become popular, was on TV because of it, 7 million viewers type of thing. We're talking like we're talking pretty big levels. For a video, even from some of the best vloggers out there, to get 7 million views, that's unbelievable. And we're talking like 7 million views all the time, live stream, which is unheard of now. Unheard of. For that person to go so far as to say, you know what, I'm not even going to be on Facebook now. I'm not going to be on Twitter now. I don't want to have anything to do with the internet now because it was just kind of all ruined for me. I don't want to get to that point. I really, really hope it never gets to that point. You guys are amazing, the people who watch. You guys are amazing. How could I ever leave you guys behind? I just couldn't ever fathom it. I couldn't imagine it. But I guess, you know, all good things must come to an end eventually. I hear so often now of other YouTubers who, you know, were often inspirations for me to start doing my videos and stuff, have completely changed course, who don't do it anymore, or who do it but do it differently. And I think it's because they ultimately still get that kind of feeling too, is that we've been doing it for too long. Things are just not going the way we planned. And now we got to stop. So it's all very sad thinking about things like that. But yep, it's just kind of what's been on my mind. And as usual, that's kind of where I start to come on to TimeShot and blab about it to you guys. I think that the whole thing is just so interesting at the same time. Let's see here. I'm just trying to figure out now. Gotta go like this. Yeah. There we go. There. And then one more. I have no idea if this is going to look good. I guess we will all find out in a moment if this looks any good at all. But yeah, okay, so if you wanted to actually go and listen to that interview, it's a very short one. It doesn't take long to listen to the whole thing. You can find it online. Again, it was called JessiCam. So the interview for JessiCam, it was on SoundCloud. I found the thing. You can go listen to it there and kind of be inspired, or at least inspired isn't the right word for it. It's more like informed. I'm just informed. Does that sound weird? I'm not inspired by what was said. I'm just informed by what was said as to like what the dangers of being online all the time, being in the public eye, what that could mean, what that can do to a person, how that affects people. It's just all very, very interesting stuff. So go check it out. Oh, and I should probably note at the tail end of this video too that our world download is up. I mean, I did mention it quickly at the beginning that I would finish this for the world download. World download's out. Go see it on the Reddit, download it. It's a huge 700 megabyte file, I think. I think we're probably kind of at the cusp of needing to have a different format for it. I don't know what format that'll be, but I've got a few interesting ideas in mind. Hey, that looks actually not bad with the louvers in it like that. Actually, maybe I'll remove that one, but that doesn't look too bad. Nice little textural component to it. And then when I finish the decoration on the top, because I want to do kind of a decoration like I did on the top of that one. Yeah, I think this will look alright. I'm getting happier with this roof style. Yeah, I am. Okay. So, anyway, yeah, go check out the world download. Get it. It's really awesome. We got a couple new members who I think tried to get stuff done for the world download. I'm not sure if they actually did. Maybe what I'll do is I'll quickly run here into the spawn and see if there's anything that I can spot. either audio or calf. Please. Please. Oh, okay. That my heart actually was in my throat. I could feel it there. Okay, let's check out the spawn. And this will be the end of the video. So I guess I can kind of start plugging my usual ending right now. Share this video on Twitter and Facebook. Subscribe if you haven't already. And oh my God, Calf did do something. He did a massive C. He's got the British Edson flag. I'm looking at his stuff. What is this? I will be back to this mess. Hopefully not by Christmas. Huh? Huh? You like? I tried. I worked very hard. Yep. Well, it's a giant C. C stands for calf. Or it's a giant backwards C, which stands for nothing. Huh. Well, now we see what... Oh. I hear skeletons in there, too. I think they must be just spawning inside because... You know what? I'm going to go in. Oh, here he is. Yeah, they're just spawning inside. Whee! They're probably spawning up there, too. I'm going to help them out by just plopping that down. How did I make that jump, parkour master? Although, I just noticed that these are spawnable platforms as well. So we've basically got an absolutely massive mob grinder here at the spawn. That's great. Huh. That's fine. Alright, so I'm going to end it there. Thank you guys for watching. I already did the outro, so you know what to do with this video. Oh! I got new channel art. I'm getting quite a few positives from it. Quite a few negatives too. But they can just go suck a lemon. I love it, love it, love it. I love my new channel art. I think it's so awesome. So thanks to the guy who did it. He's the guy who also did the Fedrin's Life in the Woods logo. So that's kind of how I heard about him, was through Fedrin. So awesome guy. He did my art, and I am super happy with it. What else on the channel? Nothing much else on the channel. So just check out the world download. Check out the JessiCam thing for interest's sake if you are so inclined. And check out the next TimeShot episode, I guess. We're reaching episode 100, and I've heard rumors that we want to do maybe something a little bit special for 100. There are several members getting to 100 very much kind of in the same few weeks, so we might all be doing something, or maybe not. I don't know. I don't know if I'm allowed to say anything or not, so I'm just gonna spoil it all for you. But we'll see you then on TimeShot. Bye bye.